I see this conversation really mattering because learning to be you, expressing you in a world that doesn't always support it, isn't just about expression, it's about your well-being. Welcome to Intuition Unlocked, the podcast empowering empathic women who feel misunderstood, overwhelmed, or disconnected from their intuition, begin to trust their sensitivities, find inner clarity, and show up with embodied, unstoppable confidence in their daily lives. I am your host, Olivia Ashley, an empath and intuitive, and I am so happy you're here. Hello, and welcome to Intuition Unlocked. It's Olivia here, and I'm so grateful you're here with me today, because today we're going to dive into one of my favorite topics, helping you feel more like you. This episode is all about how to be you, the empath, the intuitive, the strong, radiant woman in a world that tells you not to. I know this is going to resonate deeply because we live in a culture that constantly tells us to quiet our emotions, to toughen up, and to do what's expected instead of what we feel is right for us. And if you're someone who is empathic, intuitive, or deeply creative, which you must be if you found your way here, then you've probably been told all of these things, that you're too much, whether it's too sensitive, too emotional, or too different. And maybe you even learned to shut down those parts of yourself just to get by. But here's the truth. All of those things are not flaws. They are actually your compass, your gift, your superpower, and your most authentic way of being. So today, I will share 6 simple yet powerful practices to help you start to reconnect with more of who you are at your core. And by the end, you will know how to reawaken curiosity and follow what lights you up, how to start honoring yourself more with aligned choices and boundaries, and how to begin expressing yourself fully so your outer life reflects your inner truth. And let's dive right in. So why are we here talking about this today? Well, I think the truth is so many women I meet, including myself, whether we're empaths, intuitives, mothers, creators, we are exhausted from trying to live lives that don't feel like our own. We've spent many years putting everyone else first or doing what we think we should, often ignoring that voice within ourselves because it didn't ever get to develop that strength because we let everyone else's voices come first. And as a result, along the way, we often lose our connection to who we truly are and what we enjoy and are excited about at our essence. And when you live this way, especially for a long time, that disconnection from yourself grows. So you might second guess yourself constantly, or you may feel like you're floating through life, doing everything quote unquote right, but never really feeling settled, alive, like you're present or trust the direction you're headed. You might even feel like you don't even know yourself anymore, or when someone asks you, well, what do you want? How do you feel? You might just go blank and feel uncertain. And maybe you feel really connected and you feel very sure of yourself, and yet you still struggle to answer that question. And that's why we're here. I see this conversation really mattering because learning to be you, expressing you in a world that doesn't always support it, isn't just about expression, it's about your well-being. It's about reclaiming your sense of aliveness, joy, and direction, and no longer outsourcing your worth to other people's opinions. When you start to choose to live aligned with who you are, everything starts to shift in your favor. Your relationships, energy, creativity, and confidence get a boost. So let me help you with this and get into the 6 practices that I see can help you return to yourself pretty quickly. Number 1 is staying curious and exploring. Curiosity is the beginning of rediscovery. This is where it all starts. When you've been told who to be your whole life, you may not even know what you truly enjoy anymore or want. So curiosity is how you are going to find out. For many of us, we are only shown how to be curious in certain roles or spaces in our lives, such as in our work. And when you're in a state of doing the same thing each day and only expressing that curiosity in that specific way, you can lose out on opportunities that could bring you to wonderful and even simple things. Your lens of life and the feelings you face each day can become quite narrowed and monotonous, but it doesn't have to stay that way. When you start to get into that explorer mindset, when you open that curiosity, you're giving your inner self space to speak up again. And often it's in the smallest curiosities that you stumble onto what really matters to you. For example, maybe you feel drawn to paint even though you aren't an artist, or you're curious about meditation even though you've never done it before, or there's this topic that's really piquing your interest, and yet you feel nervous to look into it because you don't have the background in it. Well, I'm here to say that following that nudge is going to open doors for you. Don't let feeling like you're a beginner or don't have the resources or the right insight to start something. Instead, let curiosity drive the way and start to bring in a sense of wonder again. Like you're a child ready to absorb and soak up the world. You're not scared of not knowing enough or being enough. You're just simply curious and ready to learn more. Let wonder lead the way. And remind yourself that life isn't only about your duties. They're important to do and get done, but life can be more than that. It can be about discovery. And that act of exploring can become the first breadcrumb trail back to your authentic self and who you are. Number 2 is saying yes to yourself. So many of us are conditioned to prioritize what others want. We say yes to everyone else's needs while quietly saying no to our own. And over time, this can build resentment, burnout, and a loss of self. So learning to say yes to you is radical. It means noticing what brings you joy, what feels nourishing, and giving yourself permission to choose it, even if no one else understands or accepts or welcomes it. That's not the point. So here's the shift for you. When you start saying yes to what aligns with you, your energy changes. You stop pouring into things that drain you, and instead you begin to fuel your own aliveness. And maybe that looks like choosing rest over an obligation. Maybe it's saying yes to pursuing a passion project or investing in something that excites you. It can be something really big or something really small, but every time you say yes, you give yourself permission to trust yourself. And over time, it builds a life that actually feels like yours and represents you at your core. It leaves a legacy that you can be proud of and excited by, and it gives you space to constantly change and evolve. Number 3 is finding your community. Being yourself can sometimes feel terrifying if you're surrounded by people who do not see or get or accept you. That's why finding community for yourself is essential here. When you start to connect with others who value your sensitivity, creativity, intuitive living, or anything else you want them to see or value or connect with you on, you realize you're not alone. And that validation is so healing. And you can truly find community anywhere if you follow your interests. Could be a class, a circle, a retreat, a book club, or even an online group or educational pursuit. What matters most when you're choosing your community is that you feel resonance. That sense of these are my people and this is my space. Personally, I have found almost all of my closest friends and biggest expansive moments through exploring different containers that brought me in connection to people who were doing the same thing and information that really aligned and piqued my interest. And I know as an adult and mother, it can be really hard to find space where you feel seen and curious or even have the time to show up in. Yet when you make the time, no matter the barriers, they can lead you to really profound insights and true quality, lasting friendships. When you're in community, you can feel safe enough to let down your walls. You can feel encouraged to try new things, grow, and express yourself more fully. And in that safe reflection, you begin to see who you truly are, not who you were told to be. Number 4 is being intuitive. Your intuition is your inner compass. It's always guiding you. But many of us have learned to ignore it in favor of logic, rules, or opinions of others. The problem is when you shut down your intuition and even that empathic nature, you disconnect from your deepest source of wisdom. So learning to live intuitively means paying attention to your body's signals, your gut feelings, and the quiet nudges that don't always make sense but feel true to you. For example, when it comes to making decisions around what you want and what feels best for you, you can use your body and your intuition as a compass. You can know when something feels right for you versus wrong by noticing your body. You can notice how your body reacts when you ask different questions, when you have certain opportunities to make decisions around in front of you. Notice when something makes your chest feel light versus heavy, or when your energy expands versus contracts. That's your body telling you what's aligned. And when you start to follow your intuition more, you move out of confusion and into clarity. You stop needing permission from others because you know what's right for you. And that builds self-trust, which is the foundation of living authentically and intuitively. Also, as an intuitive and empath, you have the unique opportunity to feel connected and supported in a way that not everyone invites. You can feel and know the power and support of your intuitive guidance, which allows you to feel more at ease in the moment. You have also most likely found a connection to something greater than you, to spirit, God, your guides, angel, loved ones, and more. And this brings you a solid foundation of support and guidance as you navigate your unique journey in life. Your intuition is the gateway for these types of connections, and it adds color and vibrancy to your life, which will help you be more strong and confident in who you are. Number 5 is grounded embodiment. Many empaths and intuitives spend a lot of time floating outside of themselves because it feels safer to disconnect than to fully land in our bodies. But if you want to truly be yourself, then you need to be in yourself. So grounding practices can help you anchor your energy so you feel more centered, stable, and safe. And these practices are going to look different for everyone because the way you ground versus how I ground is going to be different. But examples of this could mean walking barefoot on the earth, deep breathing, doing yoga, or simply pausing to feel your body and name where you are in this space. When you're grounded, you're able to more resiliently react to stress or overwhelm or big, hard changes or decisions in your life. You're able to make choices from a more calm, centered place. And from that state of embodiment and clarity, life feels less like it's something happening to you and more like it's something you're actively creating. And if you're interested in this topic and want to learn more, I did an episode all about grounding that goes much deeper into this and its benefits. And that episode is number 104 if you want to take a listen. And the last practice I can offer you is number 6, expression, which is really the culmination of all of these. And I see expression as being when you allow your inner truth to be visible in your outer life. It's how you align what you feel inside with how you show up outside. Expression can look like sharing your art, speaking your truth, dressing in a way that feels authentic, or simply letting yourself be honest in your relationships. I also think that your lifestyle and habits are a large form and outlet for your expression, so check in there too and see if your day-to-day aligns with who you are and want to become, and then make any changes needed to make it feel better. The point here is not how it looks. It's that you're no longer hiding from yourself. It's about making choices and taking action that bring an outlet for your truest expression. It's about not letting other people's judgments, expectations, or own fears cloud your own steps forward. Follow that compass and shine your light out. Because when you express yourself, you shift your entire frequency. People feel the difference, opportunities align, old patterns fall away, and most importantly, you feel lighter and more joyful because you're no longer carrying the weight of pretending to be someone you're not. Expression is the ultimate act of freedom and what is really going to get you back to yourself. So to recap today, the path to being yourself in a world that tells you not to starts with curiosity, deepens through saying yes to yourself, expands in community, strengthens in intuition, anchors in embodiment, and shines through expression. These practices aren't about becoming someone new. They're more about remembering and returning to who you've always been. So let's take a moment to seal this energy in together. You can place a hand on your heart or somewhere else on your body and take a slow, deep breath in and big exhale out. Feel yourself drop into your body, anchor into your heart and into your root. Imagine everything we've explored today settling into your energy field and landing where it's most needed, and setting the intention to spark what you need most next on your journey. Thank you so much for being here, for showing up for yourself, and for sharing this time with me. If this episode resonated, make sure you're following the show, and I'd love if you would share it with one friend who comes to mind. Until next time, keep listening inward and honoring the truth of who you are. Thank you for joining me on Intuition Unlocked. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of insight, guidance, or intuitive inspiration. To dive deeper into our community and get access to exclusive content, head to my website at www.olivia-ashley.com and subscribe to my newsletter. You can also connect with me on Instagram at wildlyolivia for daily inspiration and updates. Remember, your intuition is your superpower. Trust it, nurture it, and let it guide you. Until next time, I'm Olivia Ashley, and I can't wait to connect with you again.